Have you ever wondered why one small hilltop in Jerusalem draws the attention, reverence, and even conflict of millions around the world? Why this one piece of land is so fiercely protected, longed for, and claimed by people of different faiths? Today, we're taking you on a captivating journey into one of the most sacred and debated places in the world, Jerusalem's Temple Mount. This is where the golden dome of the rock glows under the sun, standing tall beside the Al-Aqsa Mosque and overlooking the ancient Golden Gate. But what's really beneath this shimmering dome? And why does it matter so much to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike? We're going to dig deep into history, scripture, and archaeology to uncover what makes this place so extraordinary. Believe me, the stories I'm about to share will blow your mind. They are real, rich with meaning, and they go back thousands of years. But before we dive in, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It means the world to me, helps more people discover this content, and keeps me motivated to continue sharing deep, meaningful stories like this one. Now, let's begin. The Temple Mount, known in Hebrew as Har HaBayit and in Arabic as Haram al-Sharif, sits on a hill in the southeastern part of Jerusalem's Old City. This isn't just any hill. It's believed to be the very place where King David established the ancient city of Jerusalem thousands of years ago. Beneath the paved plazas and prayer stones, archaeologists have discovered traces of Bronze and Iron Age settlements. This is the heart of ancient Jerusalem, the root from which it all grew. But there's more. According to the Bible, this is also where Abraham, the forefather of faith for Jews, Christians, and Muslims, faced the greatest test of his life. The book of Genesis tells us a haunting and powerful story. Abraham was led by God to a mountain called Moriah. There, he was commanded to offer his son Isaac as a sacrifice. Can you imagine what that must have felt like? Walking up a mountain with your child, carrying firewood, a knife, and no animal for sacrifice. When Isaac asked his father, "Where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham replied, "God will provide." And in a miraculous twist, just as Abraham raised the blade, an angel stopped him. A ram appeared, caught in a bush. God had indeed provided. This is believed to be the very mountaintop beneath the dome of the rock. That ancient moment, shrouded in mystery and divine intervention, gave this place its first spiritual weight. Generations later, King David looked at the same mountain with longing. While living in a lavish palace, he was troubled that the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest, believed to hold the tablets of Moses, still rested in a simple tent. David dreamed of building a grand house for God, a temple that would reflect divine majesty. But God told him no. David's hands were stained with the blood of war. That task would fall to his son, Solomon. Still, David bought the land, a threshing floor owned by a man named Araunah. This field, right on Mount Moriah, would be the future site of the Holy Temple. When Solomon eventually built the first temple, he placed the Ark of the Covenant in its inner sanctum, the Holy of Holies. According to the Bible, this was the very dwelling place of God's presence on earth. The mountain transformed from a site of testing to a throne of glory. The first temple stood for centuries, but in 586 BC, the Babylonians swept in and destroyed it. The Jewish people were exiled, heartbroken. When they returned, they rebuilt, this time under Ezra and Nehemiah. This second temple stood for centuries more. Herod the Great even expanded it, turning the mount into a grand platform. But in 70 AD, Roman legions stormed Jerusalem and crushed the Second Temple, leaving nothing but smoke, ruin, and sorrow. The Jews were scattered. The mountain was left bare, and their longing to return began. Later, when the Jews tried to rebuild again under the rebellion of Bar Kokhba, the Romans stopped them with brutal force. Emperor Hadrian turned Jerusalem into a Roman colony and built a pagan temple on the mount instead. Jerusalem, once the jewel of faith, faded into a forgotten provincial town. The Temple Mount, silent and vacant, stood like a ghost of what once was. That silence was broken in the 7th century when a new voice emerged from the deserts of Arabia. Islam spread rapidly, and Jerusalem caught the eye of Muslim leaders. The Temple Mount, already sacred in Jewish tradition, became significant in Islam for two reasons. First, Muslims also honor Abraham and believe the Mount is where he was willing to sacrifice his son. Second, the Quran describes a mysterious night journey where the Prophet Muhammad was transported from the farthest mosque to the heavens. This has been interpreted to refer to the site of Al-Aqsa, even though Jerusalem isn't directly named in the Quran. Caliph Umar, after conquering Jerusalem, is said to have cleared the mountain and built a simple prayer house. Later, in 691 AD, the Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik commissioned the construction of a grand shrine, the Dome of the Rock. This golden dome we see today was built around the exposed bedrock at the top of Mount Moriah, believed to be the very rock where Abraham stood. Now, here's where things get fascinating. Inside the Dome of the Rock is not just empty space. It's built around the very peak of the mountain. In Arabic, it's called the Sakra, the rock. If you ever step inside, you'll see this rough, uneven stone rising up from the floor, encircled by ornate columns and golden mosaics. This is believed to be the exact spot where Abraham prepared the altar for Isaac. It's also considered the location where the Ark of the Covenant once rested in the temple's Holy of Holies. Cut into the rock are foundation lines, possibly where walls of Solomon's temple once stood. Even more intriguing, there's a small rectangular depression in the rock, exactly the size that could have fit the Ark of the Covenant. Was this the resting place of the holiest object in Jewish faith? Some scholars believe so. Over the centuries, this rock has seen many changes. During the Crusader period, Christian knights captured Jerusalem and repurposed the Dome of the Rock into a church. They even placed an altar on top of the stone, and according to records, chipped away pieces of the rock to sell as relics. After the Crusaders left, Muslim rulers restored the shrine. In the 20th century, the exterior dome, originally wood and later copper, was replaced with a stunning gold-plated dome. That golden glow, it's real gold, donated by King Hussein of Jordan in the 1990s. It cost $15 million and weighs 80 kilograms. Today, the Dome of the Rock is not only a masterpiece of Islamic architecture, it's a beacon of spiritual memory, rising over a mountain soaked in sacred history. If you've ever wondered why this place stirs up so many emotions, this is why. To the Jewish people, this is the place where their temples stood, where God's presence once dwelled. To Muslims, it's a site of profound divine encounter and spiritual heritage. To Christians, it's part of the biblical landscape where their faith was born. The Temple Mount is not just an archaeological site, it's the living heart of belief, pain, and hope. Many wonder what the future holds for the Temple Mount. Some dream of rebuilding the temple, others long for peace and shared prayer. The reality is, this land carries both beauty and burden. It reminds us that faith can build mountains, but also divide. What we do know is this: underneath the dome of the rock, under layers of history, war, and worship, lies a rock that has seen it all. A father's test, a nation's glory, destruction, rebirth, pilgrimage, prayer. It's more than just stone. It's the echo of ancient cries and divine promises. This story is not just about what's under the dome of the rock. It's about the deep human desire to connect with the divine, to touch something eternal. And whether you're standing under the golden dome, reading sacred scripture, or simply searching for meaning, this mountain calls out to you. If you found this journey enlightening or moving, I ask you to please support this channel. I spend countless hours researching, building visuals, and crafting these narratives so you can experience the Holy Land in a deeper way. You can support by subscribing, sharing, or even joining me on Patreon. Thank you for watching.